what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Hope you're doing well today on this fine Tuesday, January 30th. Yes, January 30th it is. Let's see what we got here today. Queen of Pentacles. Did we start with her? What was yesterday? I feel like, or that was Sunday. I think that was Sunday. That the Queen of Pentacles was the starting card. Yesterday was something else, but I ain't never mad at it. Not with the Queen of Pentacles. There's like, in the upright, that's definitely a positive sign of prosperity, fertility, devotion, the ability to be committed to long-term results, to be a supreme manifester, or I should say a master manifester as the queen, responsible and results driven is the Queen of Pentacles. So seeing the materialization of her ambitions, her drive, her focus, her fortitude. Okay. Also, you know, the more spiritual aspect of the Pentacles are gifts. So this could be the expression of a very unique gift or ability, a mastery of sorts of that ability in a way that is unmatched. That is and has again proven results of its effectiveness or effectual nature. Effective and effectual. I wonder what's the difference really between that, because for whatever reason I felt guided to say both. But yeah, this is the energy of gifts that are not just fantastical and ideal. Is something that makes a direct impact that can also be measurable, or that may have an impact that is magnifying. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, because the Queen of Pentacles, that seed, that's a big seed in her hand. Whether it's from an internal essence, which of course that would be the source usually, but it's definitely speaking to the fact that it's the matter of spirit that is evident when you're sitting in the power and prestige of the Queen of Pentacles. Like, you have something to show for your energetic force. Like I've said before, yeah, here's the Ace of Cups. It's like, you know a rich bitch when you see one, or where you're in the presence of wealth or high value and some, high end, high quality. You know what that looks like, feels like, smells like, sounds like. It's like no mistaking the prominence of an individual that walks in that energy. Okay, all right. So we got the Ace of Cups, and then I was trying to see what more I could pull out of it, which is why I was kind of dog walking it a bit because we've had that before, so that there's some reason why it's here again. Okay, well, anyway, we got this new beginning here with the Ace of Cups, which is extremely promising. Then we got the Three of Cups, which is something, some celebratory function or circumstance. And then we have the Two of Swords, which is like a crossroads of sorts. What's at the crossroads, though? Let's see. Oh, I didn't even really mean to do that, but maybe I did. Maybe I did. Let's see. Maybe we want two on the other side. What's the thoughtfulness about? The ponder, the resistance to act or decide on, if that's what we're talking about here. It could be it could be and it could be like I'm trying to find a word that I want to use, but like almost to abstain, like abstinence for, like how you abstain to vote. Is that how it's said? I don't know why I'm hearing it like that, but like in a meeting or in some type of like voting, you can vote yay or nay or abstain, meaning you don't vote at all. So I don't know why I'm hearing that right now. So there's some abstinence here regarding what? Or indifference. Could be indifference as well. So while everybody else is celebrating, Queen of Pentacles is indifferent or abstaining. Which one is the Spirit? Let me get some color on this. Hierophant. Abstaining from secret society? That would be like the boardroom, this Hierophant energy here. This is like corporal structures and organizations. Or just resistant. Oh, hold up. Let me get one more on this Hierophant. I just got something interesting. So this is like interesting. So this just took another turn because it seems like there's some new opportunity on the table that could at least have the potential for, my nose is itching too, have the potential for like a prosperous new beginning, something that will bring a lot of happiness and fulfillment, pleasure, perhaps even with the Three of Cups. It's like toasting to a new promotion of sorts. But you know what? Now, why am I seeing it as business? Because it actually is giving love, and even the Hierophant could be marriage. So that maybe that's what the abstinence is about. It's like Queen of Pentacles may be on the fence about whether or not the prospects of partnership, how they present themselves, whether they would be intimately so or professionally so, are in fact what they appear to be, what they present themselves to be. So this is like reserving reserving your right to vote or decide or whatever the case may be until there's some certainty, some security in that decision, because the Queen of Pentacles knows she has a great deal to offer whatever partnership she engages herself in. You know, whatever she aligns herself with has a great deal to benefit from her presence, her essence, whether it's her money, her time, her energy, her gifts, her talents, her financial fortitude, her manifestation force, maybe even being what I was about to say before I realized the Lovers and then the Ace of Cups and then the Three of Cups is like bridesmaids vibes. You know, it can give off that energy. The Ace of Cups is like new love, like a fulfilling love at that. The Hierophant is like the preacher, wedding the lovers at the altar. And then you have this Two of Swords in the middle, like, I don't know. So like, why is the Queen of Pentacles? It's like the ceremony is already planned. You know, that's what it's given. It's like the flowers are bought, the venue is secured, the menu is selected, the guests have been invited and RSVP'd and all that good stuff. You know, the honeymoon is planned. It's like somebody's planning a ceremony, obviously in favor of this union of sorts, or planning some happy ending. Hopefully it isn't truly indeed happy, but somehow without the presence, or at least let's say Two of Swords is at best knowledge of the Queen of Pentacles, whom I'm assuming would be an important party of this experience. Like, consider she's the wife, or, you know, the potential wife, or maybe even potential partner, or potential executive. Like, say we take it back to the corporate structure that I was picking up on first. Suppose she's being thought of as a potential board member, like people are like her name's being thrown around in boardrooms or by corporations as like almost headhunted to some degree, like maybe not directly, but people are idealizing her partnership in one way, shape, or form. Like, yes, it would be great to have her on board. She can do this, that. They're seeing the vision for her contributions to an organization that's already officialized, or I don't know what the hell this is. It's already established, and it could I want to feel good about it, as with the Ace of Cups, but it feels weird that she would not be privy to even this possibility, or this what is the word I'm looking for this consideration. There it is. Like, how is it that they're already toasting to her presence, or to the expertise of her, I don't know, already, unless this is angelic force, which it could be, because sometimes I see, now I'm going to a whole nother level. We went from corporate to intimate to now celestial. I don't know what this is, but we're going to get some more cards, because clearly the Ace of Cups is of a divine ordinance. Sometimes I see the Three of Cups as like angels, ancestors, you know, in celebration for your awakening, or your becoming, or even your arrival or ascension, which she is very elevated, right? Queen of Pentacles. The Hierophant could be, you know, primitively it's the expression of God. It's the God card, as we say, but it's more so the expression of surrogates of source, so to speak, like man-made ordinances of religious or spiritual power or position, I'll say, like a priest or a judge or, someone in a higher authority, even a teacher, perhaps, right? But surely as a derivative of the divine, if we're looking at it that way. And then, of course, the Lovers is some sacred union of sorts. So it could be, the celebration of what has already manifested itself on a divine level, in a divine realm. The Lovers certainly is, that's Gemini energy. So, well, it's not really earthly. There's a lot of water and air. So the Hierophant is probably the only Taurus. I think that's Taurus with the Hierophant. And of course, the Queen of Pentacles can be any of the earth signs. So maybe it's the manifestation of a spiritual ordinance into its physical form. That can work in any regard that I've spoken of it, because if it is a matter of a corporation or a business kind of headhunting you for your expertise, it's like they already got your office ready. They already are formulating a contract or some proposal for compensation or, whatever the exchange would look like that they're willing to offer. And it's good. Whatever it is, it's big and it's good. And it may have the potential to definitely meet beyond actually your expectations as the Queen of Pentacles, because the Queen of Cups is like overflow. So more compensation, more perks, more benefits than you probably ever, because maybe that's the consideration here, to make it spiritually fulfilling, because the Queen of Pentacles otherwise can really, be well satisfied working in her own regard. Like, she is an entrepreneur by design, so in order to establish herself, or align herself, I should say, in partnership with any structured organization, it would need to be well worth it emotionally, spiritually, energetically, to feel comfortable making that decision to almost like not surrender, because the Two of Wands, the Two of Swords, it's like, if if you're not working for your own bottom line, and you are more or less engaged in an established corporation, as much as they may roll out the red carpet for you, there still are some expectations that will have to be met one way or another. So there may be a bit of a surrender of sovereignty, let's say, for instance, even if it's just in a matter of time, and there's a place to report to, or meetings to be present for, or projects to be accountable for the production of, that are not all dictated by your own determination. Like, here's the experience of compromise and co-creativity that would be a reasonable expectation, I suppose, if one were to resolve to accept whatever this offer is. So that's business. Intimately so, this is somebody that may just be highly, like maybe even really, I don't know if they're going as far as literally to plan out the whole event of matrimony, but maybe in their mind, maybe this is like a big wish or desire of how they would idealize the union of you and them, and this is like their focal point, that they fantasize about this focal point, so much so that it almost has become real, almost as real as if it actually was. But just something, like I said, it still feels like it's like almost, this is like the X, like insert Queen of Pentacles here. Like, why isn't she here? She's not there because there's something about these plans, intentions, motivations, ambitions, fantasies, dreams, wishes, hopes, desires, that you still aren't quite knowledgeable yet. Either the offer hasn't materialized itself to you, or you haven't materialized yourself within it, which is strange to me. It's just strange. I don't know. It took a lot for me to get to that. And it's just weird. So let's see, like, I don't know if I'm gonna take all this, but let's see. Yeah, I'm not taking this. But we got the King of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. Ooh. And this is why I'm not taking it, because this feels like somebody who is lusting after this energy, this fantasy of a happily ever after of sorts. But they're not in a position to establish it. That's why it's fantastical. That's why there's an abstinence here, literally an absence of the true presence and essence of the Queen of Pentacles, because with their greatest ambition and their most raw desire, maybe even perhaps pure desire, they're not available for the task. Five of Pentacles is saying that this could be somebody that's caught up in a relationship already, or in the throes of some situationship that is draining, but that they are attached to. That, you know, there's an attachment here that can't so easily be broken for whatever reason. Like, his back is turned to it. Like, this is how, and how I'm seeing this even more like vividly is like his wand in his hand, fantasizing about this energy of a what if, or if only, or if it could be type of vibes. And you know what I mean. If you know, you know, with his wand in his hand. But the reality of his life is such that he's depressed. This is like poor in spirit and poor in material sense, in the physical sense, perhaps even not well, like physically unwell, with the Five of Pentacles, having some type of sickness or ailment. Some dis-ease or disorder is at play here that would keep him from being able to live out this fantastical ideal of, like, you know, wish fulfillment. And that stuckness, so to speak, is what keeps him up at night, because he can't physically move toward this ambition, is what keeps him in his head, you know, sad and anxious, and maybe thoughtful about the fact that this may never be the reality that he is fantasizing about. That it may have actually, that it may be lost to his possibilities. Yeah, I'm not taking that, because some, yeah, exactly, Judgment card makes a lot of sense. And I was going to say that's one aspect of this, because I still feel like this is something real. This is something that's happening. This isn't just somebody's fantasy or even their worst fear, because that's what it was kind of giving me with those cards. Like, it's somebody's fantasy and worst fear. It's like, if they can't be a part of this, then it would be their worst fear for it to go on without them. And the Judgment card is saying that that's absolutely what's set to happen, right on time, for me connecting to the fact that this is something that is already, it's already, with Judgment, already established, already decided on, already written, perhaps with the Lovers card, the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, the Hierophant, and materialized in some actual way. It's just that I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is just the last to know. She's like the last guest on the wedding list or something. I don't know, but it's funny, right? Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, here we go. Wheel of Fortune is this is happening. This is happening. This is not a drill. Something new is taking place that is divinely destined, that has already, like, the wheel is already turning and the wheels are already set in motion. That's why I'm saying it's so weird, because it's like literally somebody has already prepared this fantastic celebration, and here's the invitation to the Queen of Pentacles, like like maybe like a surprise wedding or something like that. Wouldn't that be crazy? I don't know how I would feel about that. I don't know how I would feel about that. Maybe a surprise proposal, but the Page of Wands is giving me something already in action. It's like somebody that would stage a proposal, but also have the wedding planned, like already ready. Like, I know, or just that confident that you're going to say yes, like this is the beginning of our new lives. Like, I know she's going to say yes. And now, or Justice of the Peace vibes. It could be that too, that somebody wants to definitely expedite the process of commitment to some very final, or I won't say final because obviously it can't be that final, but to some very definite determination. Like, it's not a matter of, I just want to date you and see where this goes. Like, somebody is already there at the matrimony, the kids, the house, the car, the business plan, the legacy to be established. Like, somebody's definitely, all that's missing is the partner. Now, I don't know if this is no, because it doesn't feel like that. I was going to say something that would kind of discount the Queen of Pentacles, but I was going to say, like, I don't know if it's a matter of somebody that just wants this so bad that all they're doing is looking for a partner to kind of insert, but it doesn't feel that way. It feels very unique and specific, especially leading with the Queen of Pentacles. It feels like somebody being inspired by all of this unfolding on account of who it would be with. Like, even with the company, it's like the position is not solidified or contingent upon per se what the company needs to fulfill, but it's the executive, the potential candidate that whose skill sets and expertise seem to be a good fit of value for the company to fill, to kind of advance it in a way that it isn't already, or to fill a void that maybe perhaps is even unknown or ambiguous to be filled. What I'm trying to say is, like, the inspiration is of the person who is the potential, not, oh, we just want anybody here, anybody. It's not, the Queen of Pentacles is never just anybody. She is the body, the bitch, if you know what I mean, which I guess I said it, so you must. All right, so here we go with the Eight of Swords. I'm looking right at it and I still say the wrong suit. I'm sorry. Y'all know, charge it to my head and my mind working a mile a minute. So the Eight of Swords is still like, that's like, hold on, let me see what's on the other side, because I don't like the Eight of Swords. I can deal with the Two of Swords, but together that's the 10. So there's some culmination of maybe awareness. Okay, that can make sense. That what kind of connected to what I was just saying, that what the Queen of Pentacles is identified as an asset of, or for, or that to be an asset in whatever way, may not be as apparent to her. it may even be a surprise of sorts, which kind of goes along with this theme too, that a company or a partnership, or because this could be like having not just a secret admirer, but a secret admirer that is of high stature, that is, you know, an official person, maybe even a celebrity, or just someone like well established in their field, or a leader in the community, like somebody that holds a high level position, right? And it's like, wow, little old me, you've been watching me, you know, they've been watching your channel, they've been watching your social media, they've been watching, hopefully not you, I ain't getting no no Page of Swords out here, but maybe there's some way they've been, you know, observing your growth. And again, this can range, because this can be generally, it could be intimately, it could be celestially. It could be, as I said, you being handpicked for a certain position of purpose, and you have absolutely no idea how perfect you are for that position. You're over here in the Eight of Swords, just like feeling like you're barely keeping your head above water, or not realizing the potency of your resume, and your resume being your experiences, but not just your experiences, but how you've navigated those experiences logistically to prove yourself to be like a problem solver, to practically put it, or to be innovative, to be resilient, to be to have ingenuity, you know, and the projects that you, or the experiences that you engage. It's like someone from a higher position than what you may think you are even on the radar for is watching, or has been watching you work in your natural habitat. That's what this is giving me with the Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, this is so interesting. So it could be, like I said, an admirer that's been watching you from a distance, or watching however they can see you, and making, you know, plans, or feeling inspired a certain way to connect because they see your potential. It could be a company that sees the value of what you do in one aspect and thinks that that could translate over into whatever it is they have a desire or a need for, or whatever fulfillment they are ambitious for. And it could be spirit seeing how you've navigated just life's journeys, trials and tribulations with the Eight of Swords, like not even knowing that you were in trials and tests and tribulations that were ultimately building your resume for a big promotion. You know, it's like, well, I know if she can handle this, then certainly we can trust her with that. And for you, you might have felt like, you know, you tanked the project, or, you know, you might have felt like your previous professional endeavors, maybe even entrepreneurial endeavors, were a failure, or didn't quite amount to what you had you were eager or ambitious to manifest. But little did you know, it was your tenacity that proves you to be the candidate, the man or woman for the job. I just like saying the man for the job, even when it's a woman, but you get it. You know, it could be either one, honestly. All right, so let me get one more next to the Lovers. Well, that's too much, so I'll be fair, I won't take it since I'm looking for one. But look at this promise here. The Ten of Cups, okay? That's like multiple aces of cups in one card. Nothing to be desired here. Something that will propel you forward. Now, the Seven of Cups, again, it's this ambiguity. Like, I feel like it's you not even knowing that you're being propelled forward. You not even knowing the range of choices that either you already have at your fingertips, or that you're about to, that are literally going to be life-changing. Wow, this is awesome. Oh no. Oh no, I'm definitely not taking this. Here's the lurker, Page of Swords, King of Swords. Oh my God, I'm itching. That is so funny. Didn't I say, like, well, I don't see the Page of Swords out here. Well, here he is, and he's a watching because he wanted to be the high-powered executive of whatever this offer is, or this is the energy of that Nine of Swords, of that last array that I didn't accept. This is that energy here. Watching, hoping, wishing, projecting, the one that feels like if he can't be the one, then nobody should be, or that you just shouldn't have the opportunity without him, or, like just some level of entitlement here with this Page of Swords, King of Swords. Like he feels like he is the expert, the executive, the high-powered candidate, or like he felt that because the King of Swords is very smart, and it is more or less the expression of like an expert in the field of whatever it is. But in this case, it's like, I'm not taking it for a reason, and that's probably the energy here where there's some rejection, and I feel like given that spread with the Nine of Swords and the depression and anxiety of someone moving on and them not being a part of it, is the rejection piece here. Like feeling like, oh, first of all, justice under the deck. I couldn't help but see that. It's justified, but because first of all, to even have that attitude about someone else's destiny is jilted in the first place, and there lies probably the reason why he's in the position that he's in, stuck in the commitments that he is that are unfavorable because of that mentality in the first place. Like someone that feels as the King of Swords, like, I'm better than everyone. I am smarter than everyone. I bring the genius level of knowledge to whatever, environment I'm in. There's nobody that's more genius and more intelligent than me. It's like that type of energy. But we know that that's ridiculous, first of all. And that's the type of ego that sends you into the pitfalls where you end up in places that you really rather not be in. So as I put it back, it feels like that's the energy that's been rejected, or the energy that would be rejected if a proposition such as if he was emotionally available, which as the King of Swords, there's really not much emotion there. It would be a no, because the only emotion that was present in that spread of those 5 cards was the 5 of Cups, which is the lowest vibration of emotional essence that there is in the deck. And on top of that, the 5 of Pentacles. So somebody's broke, busted, and disgusted, pretty much. And ultimately, by their own decision making, their own choices with the King of Swords, because that's the master of intellect and of discernment, of choices, So he has no excuse and no one else to blame for the results of his decision making, So let's see what else we got here. Can I just get one on the end here? Okay. Here's the plan with the 2 of Wands. Yeah, but see, it feels like still the imposition of the energy that was rejected. Somebody still looking from a distance, wanting to impose their ideals into, their plans, their I hate to keep using the word ambitions, but what the wand energy is, that is the plan and the ambition to act into a circumstance that they are quite distant from at this point. They're quite detached from, maybe even removed from, like, oh shit, Now that I'm seeing this, oh God, I just saw another vision too. I don't even want to say that. But this is somebody that's like they've been dismissed from this partnership, maybe from this company, maybe from the assignment that once they were privy to. This is like the dismissal. Like I'm gonna just have to say it. I just got the vision of somebody on, because it almost looks like a rooftop, and oh, and I just got chills. And the movie Succession, right? Not movie, I'm sorry, the series Succession, which I also loved on HBO or Max, whatever. There was a scene, whether you I may be able to find it, but there was a scene where the eldest son, who all along was supposed to be the one that was being groomed to pretty much take over this news empire that his father was supposed to be retiring himself out of to leave it to the kids, but he pretty much found a way to linger on and make their lives miserable, and then ultimately kind of pulled the rug from up under all of them in the end. And then died instantly. Suddenly, as a matter of fact. But there was a scene where the son, the oldest son, who was supposed to be, the executor of the estate, eventually went up to the rooftop because I forget what happened, but he had made a really big plunder professionally. And he went up to the rooftop pretty much to jump. And there was some big tragedy that, some outbreak in the office where there was like an active shooter or something. And ultimately, like the father, who at that point in time was very concerned about the heir to his throne, the main one that he was looking to locate was his son. And his name, what was his name? Damn, I can't even think of his name right now. I've watched that show so much. It may come to me, but anyway, he sent out his security to go find him, and ultimately the word got back that where they found him, which was up on a rooftop, just in the nick of time, more or less, they pretty much relayed the message that it was looking very suspicious that he was about to, jump and end his life. So after the crisis was over and everything had died down, so of course they retrieved him and brought him to the safe room where the rest of his family was, and yada, yada, yada. But then when at the end, when the crisis had died down, he goes back up to the rooftop, I guess, with the intention of finishing what he started, only his father, and this wasn't said, but you had to infer that his father had barriers placed, like these glass barriers placed along the entire perimeter of the roof. So it was virtually impossible for him to climb over it, let alone to jump. So that's the energy that's why I was like, oh, I don't want to say that, but that's the energy that it just gave me right now. And it connects because, as I'm saying, like somebody feels like they plundered their professional career or plundered the promise of their future in some way, shape, or form with the Lovers. They feel like they squandered their destiny with the Lovers card is what is given, or at least their idea or plan for their own destiny by the mismanagement of their actions or poor activity. That's the energy here. Like somebody almost feels like they want to, and with the 5 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords, that aligns with somebody feeling like, shoot, even the King of Swords with the damn sword in his hand feels like somebody needs to hurt. If he can't impose an impact on whomever, he is blame shifting his experience onto, he feels like he would want, it's really a projection and a deflection, because he really would want to harm himself But maybe, you know, here's the options, the plans here. It's like, I would want to jump off this building if I thought it would make things, if it would make everything go away. But somehow, I don't know, it doesn't seem like that's the option that he hasn't completely resorted to that yet. Or I don't know, maybe he has, I don't know. But it feels like there's a contemplation here with the most efficient way to maybe soothe or ease his discomfort. But either way, for me, it feels like this plan, the choices are very skewed because, like I said, it's either you go and jump off a bridge or jump off a building, or you persist in this harebrained scheme to insert yourself in places that have ultimately, it's like going postal, you know, at the job or something, or trying to go back and like assert yourself as, you know, like to assert some rights to the position or to this organization in one way, shape, or form, maybe even to a relationship. Is under the, you know, the lovers here, some partnership where it's like you've already been released, fired, bought out, escorted out the building, perhaps, you know what I mean? Like your security badge has been revoked, like something here where there's a great rejection or disconnection of access and authority, and somebody with that Page of Swords and the King of Swords, it feels like somebody is just kind of like refusing to accept their reality. Yeah, look at this, the Tower. I'm gonna move these over, why not, right? So the Judgment here with the Queen of Cups. Damn. Yeah. And then the Tower is the Wheel of Fortune. So that means it's shocking. It's a shocking twist of events for perhaps everybody. Like even the Queen of Cups, who's intuitive, as I said before, is like somehow she still doesn't see this all coming. You know, she still is not privy to every aspect of this proposal, whatever it may be, whether it's professional or otherwise. And it's going to, it'll be a shakeup in structure for those that, as I said, had plans otherwise, even for their own future, but even for the fortitude of the future with the Wheel of Fortune. Like it's just like a shift of events, like business as usual going a certain type of way, and then suddenly there's a new CEO, you know, or suddenly there's a new product line. Suddenly there's hella layoffs in the other direction. You know, it's like it makes a great impact one way or another on the trajectory of change for something that's been well established already. Let's see. Yeah, look, here's that CEO, like I said. Wow. Maybe somebody that was in charge. Oh, so this is somebody who thought he was fitting to be the emperor. He was born to be the man in charge. Like this is like somebody who has been groomed for a certain, or grooming himself at least, and putting certain moves in place to be at this head level of execution, only to find out like, not only are we going in another direction, but we actually, because I mean, it's like we don't even have a place for, another direction. We don't even have a place for your position anymore. Like, thank you for your service. Damn, the World card. That's the end. This is the end of a partnership and a new beginning. Like, I don't even need to say no more. Somebody thought they was going to run it back, or that this was, I really get the sense with the Six of Cups, it's like they felt entitled to this partnership. Like they were shoo-in. That's what it is. Like, oh, I know I'm the perfect fit. I'm the only fit. Back to that King of Swords energy. Who else but me type of vibes. been putting in all the hours, putting in all the work, making all the sacrifices for and you can take that how you will, but I just felt that as I said it, making the proper sacrifices for the power that they were idealizing. And it just made sense to them that they were putting in the steps and the work to lead them straight to the path of power, only for, like I said, there to be a complete shock, like a change in authority, a change in maybe the company gets bought out, or I don't even know, like the circumstances of which they connected themselves to or binded themselves to are really what ultimately eliminated them from being a proper candidate. But this is an energy that wouldn't recognize that in their ego. They just see it as them being, with that justice card, like almost being pushed out unfairly for someone that wasn't even a part of the original plan or scheme. It's like, someone from where? And a woman at that? Like, who? A Queen of Pentacles, not even the Empress? Like, what qualifications does she have? Like, trying to measure themselves pound for pound. She doesn't have the experience. She doesn't have the background, maybe not even the education, or like he's just weighing himself against the disparity between the regard he holds for himself, of which he feels is unmatched, and who the potential or the ideal at this point is set to be. And it's not only astounding, it's infuriating. As I said, leading someone to really want to do some damaging things, either to themselves or potentially to the future, to whatever future they have left. And the World card is here saying that, the opposition more or less has been, I hear condemned, but I was going to say closed, like brought to a close. It's like nothing more he can really do, even though it's like really having your hands tied, which is why he might be on the rooftop as is, like, damn it, like feeling hopeless about your course of action, because the judgment has been called, the choice has been made, the wheels are already turning, the ink is dried on the contracts, it's only a matter of shaking hands, literally, with the Six of Cups, like, welcome aboard, type of energy, which it seems is on its way with the World card. This is the new beginning, the new expansion of the brand, the new start for commitment, new possibilities for some purpose or another. A big one, though. Too many majors in ideal places for it not to be. A powerful new beginning that comes from, it's like having all of the knowledge of what not to do with the Six of Cups. This is like familiarity, knowing where the shortcomings were in partnership before, like maybe how you ran business, how you forged partnerships or contracts or commitments, and knowing that there is an opportunity and an invitation to release some ways of doing something, whether it's business or relationship, whatever it is something that's outdated and it doesn't work anymore. Like say for instance, like a technology or a system, a process or a system that would be better advanced with a new technology. It was an old way of doing something that worked for a time and it made sense for a time, but it doesn't really translate to be highly efficient in the era of business or advancement, I'll just say overall, that is being evolved into. And it's like this emperor is his expertise is in that old world. Ooh, this is good. This is good. is in that old process. So yes, like he got all the accolades, all the knowledge, and beefed up his power in the processes that existed for a time, but forgot to be to visualize the projection of the future, to be the visionary that a true emperor would be, not just an emperor, not just a king of swords with an emperor's ambition, somebody that wants to be in charge, but really they're quite limited in their ability and expertise to be so holistically, because a true emperor is able to see the scope of change and to anticipate the evolution of whatever it is he's the leader of, to match that those expectations, to shift with the evolution. So that's what I was saying. It's like somebody that thought they had every I dotted and T crossed with what the experience and knowledge that they gained as they were, but in reality is a bit of a novice in regards to futuristic futuristic ideals. Yeah. That's deep. And of course he feels victimized or disenfranchised because the ego wouldn't allow him to see where he may have mismanaged his planning, his ambitions, and missed the mark to prepare for what couldn't be seen just yet, or what couldn't quite be materialized as reality. It's like he knew how to work with the system as it was, but he ain't ready for what's coming. Like the future is already here, literally, with the Wheel of Fortune. Judgment's already called. We're already in a new age. And if somebody's still trying to operate in a past world mentality, or old world mentality, they've more or less already left behind. Yeah. It's like, practically put, like trying to raise your children on the same principles, that exclusively on the principles that you were brought up on, when the world has evolved an entire generation since then, and not being willing to shift and make room for, nuances in life, and life experience that more or less would render those ideals null and void at this point, to some degree. Maybe not all of them, but to some degree, that just don't have the same level of impact on the youth of today, that come here damn near knowing absolutely who they are out the womb. Like, not unsure like we were, you know what I mean? Like, what? Who am I? Who should I be? What do I? Completely born into a fog for some of our generations. Definitely, to some degree, like we were kind of on the cusp, because we were seeing the world and almost like, I feel like a double lens, where we were seeing the ugly of the world, but it was being projected to us as something different. Like coming up in the 80s and 90s, you were seeing some part of the world thriving, but others deteriorating. And it fused in the middle at times, especially when you consider like drug culture and things like that, where sometimes you could see the crossover of thriving in places that were deteriorating, but ultimately they were brought back down to deterioration too when it was time for the system to decide up, on so I don't know, all that to say, like, there was a bit of a haze, but not, because as I said, you can still see the nature of the choices that you have. But what was hazy is the potential beyond. That's what it is. Thank you, Spirit. The potential beyond those limitations. The veil is virtually gone now. where everybody is privy to the knowledge and wisdom of exactly who they've been, who they are, and what their potential may be. Nothing really truly holding you back but your own ignorance if you can't see it or refuse to see it at this point. Whereas before, there were like legitimate veils over our eyes as to what we were privy to in spirit and in truth. It's different now. If you can't engage me as a kid back in the 90s, 80s and 90s, not knowing that in fact the government did actually infuse our communities with poison, i.e. drugs, and then arrest us all for engaging in the organization of it. You didn't really know that for sure then. It was maybe a talk, a whistleblow here or there, but it was nothing that you could really prove or that you could trust to be proven to you. Now it's like exposure on 1,000 where you can't really pull the wool over a kid's eye. Like they see way more, they're exposed to way more of the realities of life, good, bad, or indifferent, than we could have ever hoped to be. You know, what wasn't shielded by our parents was shielded from them by society itself, you know, and now society can't even hide from spiritual truth. So there's that, but we're done with that, really. And here's the Three of Pentacles, which is like, I even see this as higher learning right now. That's what this is given. That's the disparity here of where you can't help but see the reality of of truth and it being materialized with the Three of Pentacles, with Pentacle energy. It's not something, it's not an ideal, it's not a fantasy, it's not a thought, it's not even a feeling. It is a reality that you either reckon with or get wrecked by. Period. And it seems like someone, you know, to put it back into the, you know, the practicality of the message, like someone is still choosing to be misguided, you know, and maybe even choosing to align himself with associations that are not forwarding, you know, trying to maybe find new partnerships to, you know, help him gain the footing and the traction that he feels he lost. And again, this could be an individual or it could be on the scale of society itself, not refusing to accept, I should say, the reality of all that I just said, that people are not so numb or blind anymore to the truth, whether it be who and what they are and their surroundings as well. Still making process, contributing and creating processes and legislation and rules and regulations and obstructions that would try to keep people in some state of this or restore this state is silly at this point. We're never going to go back to that place and time that people are just sheep being herded into. I mean, let me not say this. I'll say that the whole of the masses can be so easily herded into some level of, what's the right word? Submission, without knowing what their true choices actually are. It's not that simple anymore, and it never will be again. It would have to be great lengths to commit to that are not death-defying at this point in time. They're not foolproof anymore. Like, you would have to really put yourself in harm's way to reinstate this expression of life or experience of life anymore, impression of life anymore. And it really comes down to, like, is it worth it? Some people will still, like I said, it's almost like suicide, like spiritual suicide. Some people will still feel like that's their only option, even some in high level positions of power. But those that truly are, you know, have the vision to see the evolution that we've already stepped into the process of, the unfolding, the unveiling of, will know that they're going to have to go back to the drawing board, figure out a new way of life for themselves, and certainly how they insert themselves within the new order of life that we are all sharing and experiencing together. And that for sure is a survival of the fittest frequency. And everybody, as you see, the eliminations day to day have already commenced, where people are more or less taking themselves out by their defiance of divine ordinance. And it's only going to continue until people see the handwriting on their wall, on the wall, and make their own self-determinations to do something different or not. One thing's for certain is the power of choice is still a thing and always will be. So that was interesting, I'll say. It went multiple different ways, but I hope that you definitely align with some aspect of the message. Take what resonates and certainly leave what does not. All right. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.